I'm sure Caitlin can find a...
I got it.
Whoa. I got surprised by the music for once. Hey.
And I didn't.
Yo.
That's weird.
Welcome back to Human Disaster Podcast, episode 20.
Maybe.
Woo! It is now because I said it. Yeah. Whatever happens in the next hour, roll with it.
I just broke the first rule of improv. Your partner says the sky is blue, the sky is blue. Right? Or like red or green or purple, it doesn't matter.
Well, the sky is blue.
You ever like get halfway through it, like you ever walk into a sentence and you can't get out? Like that's Theo Vaughn. That was a killer fucking. You're like walking into a sentence like, oh, get out of here.
Awesome. I got a virtual coin for you.
Boom. Awesome. All right. Hey, welcome everybody. What's going on?
Because the risk is like the reward for one versus the risk is, can we do like a general knowledge question or something? I feel like there should at least be, even if it's just picking a number. I don't trust that computer. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God. It's
Okay.
not life or death.
I mean, it might be if we keep these birds on the table.
No, we'll move them. All right. So this is as y'all know, Mike and I often try new whiskey on air all the time, and I want everyone to know this whiskey that we're gonna try today. My
Maltese Falcon.
We have to get it open. I want everyone to know we have had this whiskey since episode 5 when Bruce was
pregnant.
on. And we have not been able to get it open. So I'm talking like June time frame, and we have tried everything. The reason we can't get it open is it comes with a double shot glass on top sealed. And we cannot figure out how to get this fucking thing off. So we thought it would be a great idea to bring a fucking heat gun and some silicone oven mittens on set and try to get this fucking thing off. So we're going to heat it up. Heat makes things expand. This is for the science for the kids. Heat makes things expand. They're going to expand this double shot glass. We're going to pull it off, and then we're going to fucking drink it.
I sincerely hope there are no children listening.
I was like,
right now.
fucking the only child listening to this is Wendy from last episode.
Yo, Wendy's. Yo, Miss Spicy Nugget.
Wait, can I give just a little bit of background? Just so you guys understand why I said this is my Maltese Falcon.
Yeah.
It is
please.
my coveted whiskey because, like, when I was in my early teens, I watched a History Channel Modern Marvels about liquors, and this was the whiskey they featured. And I've been searching for it for years. So I happen to find it at a local liquor store. I freak the fuck out. I bring it back to Jerry, and we can't get it open.
My favorite part about everything you just said is that you were watching the History Channel as a teenager. You
Is
were
that
already,
weird?
Yes.
Yeah, you were already a middle-aged man.
I used to go between Modern Marvels and Hannity Live.
It's like you were.
I was saying shit like Bill O'Reilly has a lot of good points.
Mike was a 56-year-old Republican at 14.
Dude, I wrote a paper on why the death penalty should be totally okay.
That's what in high school.
I was like a sophomore, and I had this really well thought out argument as to why the government should be allowed to kill people.
You're like, look here, Mrs. 10th grade English teacher. I'm 14, and my frontal lobe is fully developed, and I'm going to tell you why the death penalty should be legal in every state. You fucking idiot. I watched an episode of Modern Marvels, and I know everything.
So wait, and Julia thought you were Rico Suave in high school.
That's the thing. You're going to be sitting next to me. You're like, hey, can we watch your podcast? And I'm talking to you, bitch. I just got by on Venge and nuts. Like,
Yeah.
I'm talking to a guy who can literally melt things with his eyeballs, and you're asking me for help. No, I was not. No, I was weird.
No, you were not.
I would have long-form conversations with girlfriends about my favorite dictator.
Dictator.
All right.
All right, so Caitlin has a flip a coin thing on Google, and It's theoretically 50-50.
Wait, I'm gonna let you pick because you almost killed me and you deserve to do which one you want to do.
Oh, heads.
Heads?
Oh, wait. Is heads pulling it off, or
No,
is heads using the heat gun?
Whoever wins picks.
Oh, okay.
All right, ready?
Yes, heads.
Heads. Let's see.
And
Flipping. And
It's heads.
All right.
Jerry, would you like to use the heat gun or would you like to pull it off?
no, I want to use the heat gun. Well, let's
Fucking-
move these flammable
Fucking
birds.
Maintainers, man. Let's move these pieces of tinder.
Yeah. Remember, everybody, we have Senior Lodenstein and Chonkla Bitch. Okay.
All right, come on.
Oh, we're getting there. Okay. All right, everyone. let's.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, eventually we're gonna get more views on those YouTubes.
Yeah.
All right.
So for everyone watching, Caitlin, you want to do a live? Like, I don't know how to go about doing this.
All
Can we
right.
go live?
All right.
Can you take this live?
I can.
I mean, shit.
Yeah, maybe we should
Do
write
you want
Stranahans.
Instagram or Facebook?
Can you stream to both?
No.
Of course not. Thanks, Zuckerberg. Fucking.
Jerry, don't say that. Remember when we played Fuck, Marry, Kill? We were like refusing to say one of the options for the president. Like, we can't say that.
What did I say?
You said fuck Zuckerberg.
Well, yeah.
He's more powerful than God. he owns Insta, bro.
All right. We're going to do Instagram.
All right. You sure? We have more. Wait, we have more followers on Facebook.
I can't figure out how to do it from a page on Facebook.
Let's forget the live stream. Let's just have
Look,
Caitlin.
I want
throw it
everyone
up
to
later.
know that sometimes a lot of thought goes in, and sometimes not a lot of thought goes in. And either way, no matter how much or how little, the outcome is the same.
We're live on Instagram.
Hey, woo! For the second time, welcome to us live. We're gonna try to open this bottle of whiskey live on air. So fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the pop of the year right there, man. So, I know we said we were gonna do it on air, but what you didn't see was us taking a blowtorch, a fucking heater to it.
Can I see the fucking quote?
Oh yeah,
Now that we know we can get it off here.
we took some tools to it, and it
Broke
actually
a
took
bit.
us like goddamn 35 minutes to get this bottle open. And that included using a lot of force from tools. So I took a fucking drill to the top of the double shot glass here, and I went through this little wooden cork a little bit, and then we went through the straight top. It didn't relieve any air. We went through the side, and we thought we'd go through the other side, and then it broke my bit on my drill. And so then I got some pliers and a screwdriver, and I just started wedging it off, and I think I released the air is what happened. Because I leveraged one way, and all of a sudden I felt the release, and it just went whoop. So now we have a nice souvenir that'll probably stay on the table. Mike, let's get a fucking glass of this, dude.
Jerry, I just have to say, you are the man in the arena. Look up Man in the Arena by Theodore Roosevelt. Sir, your place shall never belong with those cold and timid souls who shall never know victory nor defeat. Fucking Jerry was locked in. He had Eye of the Tiger.
Dude, I wasn't talking. I was like, I just left to the garage, and I was like, I'm opening this.
And it's like my
Mike,
whiskey
glass?
that I'm so stoked to try.
Hey,
Oh, this is
Is
actually
Jerry your
And
knight
then-
in shining armor?
a little bit, man.
the twist is that it almost fell off the bench after we got it open, so it almost broke on the floor.
That was my fault. It's like, yeah.
I saved it. You're
Yes,
welcome.
yes, you did. Thank you, man.
Thank you, baby. Do you want a glass?
No, I'm good.
All right, you earned it,
No. Oh, I didn't do shit. I got it.
dude. Smells good.
Smells boozy.
Yep, it's whiskey.
Yeah, that's whiskey.
Hey, man.
15 years later,
To trial
you're the man.
and error.
God damn it, that is really fucking good.
That's pretty good.
That's really fucking good, dude.
That's really smooth. That's worth a 3-month wait for sure. Just eyeballing it at the bar.
God damn, dude. We just drank. I just drank whiskey neat, and it was like it wasn't even like that first second wasn't even bad, dude.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not even the aftermath. This is batch.
And all of my senses are heightened.
This is bottle 1149, batch 208.
Yeah, we got a one of a kinder.
Good year. All right. Anyways, let's start the fucking show.
What were we going to talk about again?
To celebrate episode 20, we
Well-
were going to tell basic training stories today. I know that was a kind of a fun topic. Everybody else, people were asking about way when the show started. And we sat down to do it one night, and then shit hit the fan, and we weren't able to.
I relapsed and my mom called me.
That happened. Honesty is a very important lesson that we learn here on the show. So, no.
If you're a piece of shit, at least be honest about it.
That's right. That's right. I'm not going to be mad.
Man
what
gotta
you
have a
did.
code.
I'm going to be mad if you lied about it. Yeah. Man's gotta have a code.
Man gotta have a code.
Fuck. All right. So, let's get into it, dude.
So-
I don't even know where to start. You went to basic first.
Well, no, the first thing is for those of you who are the first time listeners or you haven't listened to our previous episodes, I was medical in the military. So my experience was vastly different from yours. I mean, you were a maintainer. Your mission was different. Your rank structure was different. I'm sure that officers, that was a big fucking deal on the flight line, right?
Yeah, they were the pilots, so
So it was like, you were
they
definitely
needed heroes
customs
too.
and courtesies, right?
Someone's got to break the planes. Yeah.
Yeah, right. LT, I'm just letting you know. I know we just got to Sydney, but the plane broke.
Yeah, yeah, dude. There's stories that just go around. Everyone knows about like when pilots write shit up, and how they describe it, and like sometimes they write shit up for you to fix that's not actually broken. Like it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Like they said the switch doesn't work in the official position. So the switch says on or OFF, which they think is official, but it means off. So, yes, it doesn't work in the official position because it's officially off. Or, such and such equipment sounds like tiny midgets banging on it with hammers. It's like, yeah, that's what it's supposed to sound like.
Dude, gremlins exist for a reason. You know what? The thing is, and this will lead into where we're going, I promise, is when you're a young officer, your head has just been filled with shit about how you're in charge.
Yeah.
And you have to make decisions. And like in the infantry, in like combat roles, that's a big damn deal.
Yeah.
Like you're in charge of 45 dudes' lives. But sir, this is finance.
Yeah, it's not the same here, buddy.
and so when an officer fucks up or is like really stupid, which happens because they're people.
Yeah.
It's magnified because everybody knows.
Yeah.
A dumbass airman.
So a lot of people don't understand that. So I'll kind of break it down. So there's a difference in the military between enlisted and officer. Okay. Officer, you have to commission for, you go to school for 4 years, you have your degree and you join. Enlisted is not. Anybody can join. You can join enlisted and just be that, right? And they do different jobs. People typically enlisted is the one doing the work. Officers are the ones coordinating and telling you what work needs to be done. And I'm not talking like day-to-day delegation and management and shit like that. I'm just talking like overall big picture mission wise. But what they don't realize is that the officer that's in charge of 300 people is some 20-something-year-old dude fresh out of college or commissioning, and he's never done anything in his life before, and he's learning how to do his job by the enlisted that have been in for 16, 17 plus years.
Yeah.
And
if you're out there and you're thinking about becoming an officer, this is just a general rule of thumb that I've heard from every good officer I've ever had, or anybody really is like if you're a young officer, you're coming in, you're a second lieutenant, find a guy who's been in 10, 12, 15 years, somebody who you get a feel is going to be honest with you, and just say, hey man, on the real, how do I do this job?
Yeah.
Because that guy, if you ask him, he's never going to mess. If he's a good dude, he's not going to fuck you over. You know what I mean? And that guy knows how to do
his job. Yeah.
Everything
exactly
that has to do with that shop because he's the one doing it. And so, yeah, a lot of people like don't. Yeah, you're right. They really don't realize the difference. And
guess who gets paid more, though?
A lot. And
that officer, dude.
So let me... Just to give you perspective on the dynamic that can be, I've met amazing officers. I worked with some of the greatest officers. Like some of the guys, like one of the best people I've ever met in general was First Lieutenant LT Diaz. Man, take care of yourself. Not Diaz, but like he's a good dude.
We'll call him Diaz.
Yeah, right. That's fine. He knows where he is. So, but imagine this: the officer who just became an officer 24 hours ago outranks the highest, most tenured enlisted personnel.
Yeah.
The Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force has to salute an LT that just came out of his officer training and got his bars.
LT's lieutenant.
So
We gotta watch our acronyms
so
this episode.
there's always that line there, like where you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Some guys are dicks about it. Some guys aren't. Just like anything else.
Exactly. So if you're gonna join, and you have the ability to join as an officer, I do recommend it because the
Super
pay,
recommend it.
the benefits, the power, all those things. Yeah, because you can't just outright join enlisted at any sort of high level. Like you can join in the junior enlisted level, which is kind of transitioning to why we're telling these stories. So we tell you a little bit about the structure of the military so you understand the ranking system. And then when you join enlisted, I want you to understand you join at the bottom of the barrel and you go through
And
8 weeks of stupid shit with the dumbest fucking people you ever met in your life.
It is the most ridiculous, funny. Like the thing about the Air Force is, and before we even start this story, this isn't like one of those like we're gonna be talking like Air Force basic is tough because it's not. Physically tough.
No, it's
really kind of easy. Like I was such a terrible runner.
Yeah.
But they got my ass in shape. Like it wasn't like, you know what I mean? And but the MTIs in the Air Force are smart. Like they know how to motivate an 18-year-old dumbass.
Yeah. Dude, they
It's
God damn it. You go through basic, man, and it's not hard physically, right? You can prepare for it physically and you'll be fine. You cannot prepare for it physically and you'll be fine. What you can't there's two roads of mental
stress.
Like mental things that you go through in basic. One is just learning that there is a part of it where they are trying to break you down to rebuild you in a different way, which does help when you hit that like military culture. The other way is you just having to cope and make it through day by day with the dumbest fucking meal by meal, hour by hour with the dumbest people ever. And the reason that's so difficult is because when one person makes the stupidest mistake, all 60 of you in your fucking little basic flight get punished, and it is bullshit, and it's the highest level bullshit you've ever dealt with in your life, but you can't get away from it, and you have to put up with it,
dude.
That's the easiest way to say it, I think.
Dude, it definitely is. It's you. Congratulations, sir. You've won an awesome trip to Lackland Air Force Base. Do you have a soul? We're going to suck it up into our mouths and chew it up and spit it back into yours. It's going to be the same. Kind of. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to turn you into what they're going to turn you into. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you want to put it as, like, a piece of, like, a part of a team, an individual, more respectful. Like, however you want to put it, they're going to do that.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If you don't...
You don't make it.
My dad described it the best out of anyone who will ever describe military like structure and people who venture outside of it. And that is, there is nothing in this world that they can make you do, but they can make you wish you had.
Yeah. That's so true. And that's another thing within the military itself. This is more for like the culture. This will be the last thing we say, and we'll get to the funny stories. But people don't realize when you join the military, you have to do what they say, or you go to jail. like in the real world, you can run that red light, and you'll probably be getting away with it. But there's a chance you could get punished or get a ticket. But like, no, you do that in the military. You don't show up on time. You want to call out sick. That shit doesn't exist. You go to jail.
Your spouse is speeding.
Your
on
spouse
base.
is speeding on base, and you get punished for it.
It's bananas. And that's why, like, I'm sorry, but if you're a civilian, you walk up and you say thank you for your service, it doesn't really mean squat to me. Like, but if you're a veteran and you walk up and you go, yo, bro, thanks.
Yeah.
I get it, because I know that you fucking.
That's true.
You
Dude,
went through a point in your life where you're like, I do not want to do this at all.
Yes, it was about an hour into day one. And it's a good thing I signed for 4 years.
Dude,
I had to do it.
dude, I will never forget. I was at Beast, which was like Air Force, like expeditionary training, and we went through. I think it went back to 6.5, didn't it? Because there's just not like enough shit to do.
I think it's 8.5. I don't know.
I don't know. The whole point is like in the 6th or 7th week,
Yeah.
I go to Beast.
Yeah, you go to Beast week.
And it was like Black Flag, which means it's over 100 degrees in South Texas. And I am in what's called MOP gear. I don't know what it stands for, but it's like a
I don't either.
It's
It's 8.5 weeks.
It's still 8.5 weeks.
Okay, cool. But I'm in MOP 4.
MOP.
So MOP 4 means MOP 0 is you're just in your like camo, right?
Yeah.
But MOP 4 is you're in a giant fucking condom with a helmet and a gas mask.
A rubber gas mask.
Dude, with battle rattle on
Yeah.
underneath, and it's 100 fucking degrees. And I'll never forget standing there at attention, holding my stupid blue fucking M16 and saying like, "What's that, Dad? Oh, I could sign up for 6."
Mission-oriented protective posture.
That's
Mop.
what it is.
Dude, so
like you're in your regular
uniform.
ABUs, your Airman Battle uniform.
By the way, when I went through, we didn't have summer weights; they were all winter
oh
weights.
yeah, same. Yeah, same. You're in your regular ABUs,
Which are
and then
waited for winter.
yeah, waited for winter, like 100, like fucking full on cotton, like heavy as shit, hot as shit. And then you put on chemical warfare gear on top of that, and a rubber gas mask, and a helmet, and like a 15-pound flak vest, like. And I'm no means like comparing this difficulty to that of other branches, because I know all the other ones do a lot more.
Oh, dude, like
I'm just trying to paint a picture of like how shitty this 1 week was.
Yeah.
For us.
Well, it's just one of those things like where I think everybody's a veteran. You find it in the Air Force, the first thing to think is what? You're smart. Like it's like
Oh,
the
yeah.
smart branch, whatever,
Yeah,
quote unquote,
yeah.
right? Like the Navy parties, the Marines kill, the Army does whatever the fuck the Army does. I'm so sorry, guys. The Army is buck wild, but
That's true.
and they run the gambit. They do everything.
They get away with it though.
Dude, I know.
When I was in Japan, the only branch I never heard fuck up was the Army.
Because they're like, we got guys in the Middle East doing heroin right now. Like, your DUI is cute, Sergeant Snuffy. Get back in line. Like,
Oh my god,
I'd have
dude.
to cut that one.
No, yeah.
Fuck. But anyway, no, but I think I signed up for a job that I signed up for the branch of the military that gave me college credit for my what some people call A school, AIT, but we
Yeah.
call tech school.
Technical training, yeah.
Yeah, like we totally got credit.
It's like fast track trade school for
Yeah.
whatever your skill is.
There's a community college of the Air Force.
Yeah, I got credit for it. I have my degree.
Yeah, you can get an associate's degree for doing your fucking job. Like that's how. Like I'm sorry. Like if you're an opportunist,
That's true.
you're gonna
It's true.
go Air Force, right? And then. But the problem is nobody really describes to you what MOP 4 feels like. So when you experience MOP 4, Black Flag, and you lock your knees, and you're just like thinking about your girlfriend and how you shouldn't be in this position. I got a 79 in my ass, bad fuckface. And that ground rushes up to meet your face. And you're like, what happened? And then the tower comes over. It's like, "Wah! I told you to stop locking your knees, Stanich." And you're like... You just feel that arm hook underneath you to help you up. Did you ever fall out?
No.
I fell out of my 4 hard.
You piece of shit, you pussy.
Dude,
I also went through in like November, December, January.
you faggot. It was 100 goddamn degrees, dude.
I'm complaining about the heat too. I went in the middle of winter. I was like, man, it was so hot and all that shit.
You also
know
did it
why?
in Okinawa
Yeah,
too,
that's
though.
because I did it every 3 months in Japan, which is basically the same climate as here, plus 100% humidity,
Bro.
So, and I walked the flight line in mop gear, dude. Like that shit sucked ass, man.
Yeah, man, but you had your cell phone.
You can't use your phone on the flight line.
Dude, what I'm saying, but
Quotation marks. You can't use your phone on the flight line.
we had way two different experiences.
Yeah, we did. All right, dude, basic stories, man.
Okay,
I want to hear
basic.
about your fucking TI being a cocksucking asshole.
Okay, so
I got some funny ones, man.
So, all right. So my TI Sergeant Snuffy, we'll call him. He was 6'7". He was fucking Jersey, and he scared the shit out of me, dude. Like, he wasn't like.
if you saw him today, you'd still shiver.
No. But it was just like, I'd like to think that he. If I saw him, I wouldn't bother him because I know all TIs get that all the time. Like they're at the airport and they're like, they just hear their name shouted across an airport. They turn around, they see a guy that like they knew like 16 years ago, and they just yelled at them a lot. Like it's weird. So I wouldn't say anything to him, but I would be like, if you were there, I'd be like, fuck, dude, that's my goddamn TI.
Look at him. Look at his eyes.
Because I've seen other branch. To prepare for basic, I watch a bunch of Marine Corps videos, and. Seriously, because I was like, I was watching them get yelled at, and I was like, all right, so they can't touch you though, like that, and that's a piece of advice I actually got, like from just a dude like that I ran into who just graduated. I'm like, you got any tips? And he's like, yeah, they can't hit you.
Yeah, they can't hit you.
In the Air Force, in the Marine Corps, I'm sure they can beat the living piss out of you, but in the Air Force, he's like, did you play football? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, but they can't hit you. And I was like, what?
They can't do that, man. Yeah.
So my TI was like giant, man. He was huge. Like I was at eye level with like his ribbon rack, bro.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like 6 feet tall, and I'm just staring at this dude's ribbon rack. But he was the funniest. Like, did you have a funny TI?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Our brother flights TI was they're all funny.
They're all fucking hilarious. They have to know that they're that funny because the shit they say, dude. They try to break your bearing all the time.
So. Military bearing, for those who don't know, is, and we're going to say bearing a lot probably, is your ability to keep a stone face while you're being coaxed out of it. It is your ability to be in a situation that would make a normal person nervous and perform your job.
Yeah.
It's military bearing. So, like, I would be standing at attention. We'd be doing something called open ranks, which is where a TI will inspect you with his superiors.
Yeah.
And I will never forget my TI, who's 6'7", from Jersey, terrifying to me. He was a staff sergeant. I thought he was God. He was like God, my mother, my dad rolled into one. He dictated when we ate, when we ran, everything.
Yeah.
And he just leans down into my ear and he's like, hey, Stanish, I know you have impeccable military bearing and that's all good and everything, but I want you to imagine the Taco Bell dog trying to fuck Lassie. Like, he's like just trying to get up in there, but he just fucking can't.
Dude, I fucking lost my mind.
The thing is he led off with, I know you have impeccable military bearing, so I know he reached into the dark recesses of his brain, and he's like, I gotta pull out my silver fucking werewolf bullet, and he's like, and then he pauses in the middle of like describing this sex act between two different sized dogs that are well known within our zeitgeist, and I had this trick. I would just go off into my own little world. Every time I was getting yelled at, I was just somewhere else, man. You know what I mean? And but then he goes, Stanish. He comes mid-jump.
Comes mid-jump.
And dude, I lost my fucking mind. Like I just
Yeah.
You're like, Texas looks off center. Push it. Like,
Get down and do push-ups. Dude, that was the worst, man. We had this dude in my class, man. His last name was Mead, like the notebooks. You know, like this one right here.
Yeah.
And he was this fucking little Asian kid with this dumbfounded look on his face. Like like if toilet paper had a face, that was him, dude. Like, just fucking dumb. Just clueless all the time, right? Waiting for someone to wipe their ass with him. Like, So, anyways, he was complete shit at marching, and you have to march everywhere in basic. And so we're out there like doing drills for that like marching competition that they have you do to see who's like gets the best score or whatever. And he stops the whole flight and he like starts just yelling under the overhang, so it's just echoing. Everyone can hear this. Yeah. He's like, "Man, are you fucking kidding me?" He's like, "You march like this, and they make notebooks with your name on it, and they have the audacity to put 5 stars on it. You piece of fucking shit! Get inside!" He kicks him out of the fucking flight, dude.
One of my favorite last name fucking stories of like my entire time in the military was in basic, and we had this kid who had a hyphenated, really long name, and it was like 15 syllables. And so we would go out and do what's called parade practice, where you practice like for what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Whenever you graduate, you go down the bomb run. But before you do that, you swear in for the final time before you become a member. Yeah, an airman. So the TI would say, "All right, whenever I say I state your name on the name, you will all say your name in unison, and then you will say, 'Swear to God.'" And so clear directions. Clear directions. And so he would be like, "I state your name," and you would hear Arbach.
You would just keep going after everybody else has stopped.
Because my TI was like, "Motherfucker, you gotta pick one. I don't know which parent you love more, but you only get one."
Because this motherfucker's like saying his name for 10 minutes.
And he wasn't even Hispanic. It was some goofy fucking white name. Oh my god. I'll never forget my brother flight's TI. Like, our brother flight, there's a flight going through with you basically, but you're not in the same area. And our brother flight TI, I thought he was going to pee his pants. He was like rolling over on the ground. My brother flight's TI was definitely way funnier. And he'd been doing it way longer.
Yeah.
One time we were out there practicing for parade again. And there's a guy that your TI picks, usually because he has good handwriting. They call it a scribe in some militaries, but it's your house mouse. That's what we call it. We call it a house mouse. And it's, you do menial bullshit writing task. You write for the TI, whatever, right? And our brother flight's TI is booking it across the parade ground as fast as he can. And our TI, he stops dead center, like right in front of my TI. My TI had like already called like halt. And he's like waiting on this kid to run up to him because he thinks it's going to be something important. And this kid walks up and he's like, "Sir, training, whatever, reports as ordered. Sir, Sergeant Snuffy says ping, sir." And my TI like looks around.
Ping?
Yeah, ping. And my TI is like, he's looking around. He's like, "Well, go tell that motherfucker I said pong." He books it back across. And you hear him give his reporting statement, and you hear, "Sir, Sergeant Snuffy, he says, pong, sir." And you just hear our brother flight's TI like clear as day, like, "Well, go tell him I said ping again."
Ping pong back. Fucking idiot. And you have to do it. You can't say no. You have to do it. You have to get shit on for 8 weeks. You can't say no.
God damn
we
it.
were out practicing that marching thing, dude, and to correct those that were like messing up, like in step, you know, the TI RTI, he was like so and so step out, so step out. So he'd be like he said like 4 names in a row, and the dude in front of me was black, and he looked at me the same way I looked at him because we both heard the same thing, but it wasn't what he actually said. But it was like Walpy step out, Smith step out, Edward step out, and we're like, did he just call like such the N-word? You can't do that, man.
Not even TIs can do that, apparently.
Not even that, but like we were pretty sure he fucking said it, dude. Like,
Dude,
did he just call it?
was you okay? So all of my TIs were white. Do you have a black TI?
Um,
Or you have a Mexican TI?
no, I had 2 white TIs, but our sister flight had a black TI.
A female?
Oh yeah, I had a female sister flight. So again, brother flight, sister flight. There are 2 flights. They start and stop. They start and finish basic at the same time.
Yeah, and you're in the same. You're within the same squadron, which is one level up from flight. So if you can imagine, like 2 dormitories, right, and they're open, but you share with like 59 other dudes who are your flight, and then there's 60 other dudes
in the brother flight across the hall,
or wherever they are.
Your 60 other chicks in your sister flight, in the next hallway over or something like that. It's never right next to them. But fuck, man, that's fucking funny. Did your TI ever like taunt y'all and shit? Because mine would like he was the reason like I know the entire military like just religiously drinks Monsters and Red Bulls. He always had one in his hand and he would pop it open and he'd be like, you guys missed this? You guys want a sip? Like, he would just do that shit all the fucking time, dude.
Bro, no. Mine was worse. Because he loved NOS. He loved
NOS Energy?
It. He loved it,
I don't
dude.
like NOS.
Loved it, man. I like NOS. To this day, I tried
It's
it. Just
all
I was like, hey. Sergeant Snuffy was all into it. I'm into it too, right? So, but one day we were waxing and buffing the bays. Stop me if I've told this one.
Very good.
So we were waxing and buffing the bays, and you have to let the wax dry, right? And it was just us trainees in the room. And so we start doing what every member of the military does when they have free time and nothing to do. You talk about cards, you talk about sports, you talk about pussy, you talk about whatever, man. It's fucking, it doesn't matter, but we're gonna probably hit those 3 in our conversation.
Yeah.
Like, conversations vary, but they all head there.
Yeah, they all go to those 3 things.
Sports, cars, and pussy, man. What you gonna do when you get back to the world?
Yeah.
No, but so we're all sitting there fucking chewing the fat, shooting the shit, and we're waiting on the floor to finish drying in the other bay, and all of the beds are on one side of the bay where we're sitting, right? And we're all sitting in like an L shape. And there's probably like 15, 20 of us in this bay. And my TI comes back. And there's nothing you can do because he knows.
You're sitting
the deal.
ducks, dude.
Dude, yeah. So he just comes in and he opens the door, and it's almost like he forgot he was a TI for a second. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he was acting. He came in. He's like, "What are y'all doing?" And our element leader was like, "Who's in charge of 15 of us?" He's like, "Sir, training whatever reports orders, sir. I just want to let you know we were waxing the floor, so we were just waiting on it to dry." And my TI was like, "Oh, that's cool."
He just walked away.
And then he just walked into his office, right? And we're all just kind of sitting there like,
that was weird, yeah.
that was weird. Because the thing that I want to point out is he really liked that element leader.
Yeah.
So for like a split second, we were like, yo, old boy got us out of that, man. We're all like giving him dap and shit. Like, we're all like, man, you got us out of that, man. Because he really liked him a lot. There's something he should have gotten like kicked out of basic for, or recycled at least. And I know our TI went to bat for him. That's how much he liked this dude.
Yeah.
We all knew it. So we're all sitting there, but we're quiet. And we just hear what sounded to me like a NOS can being opened. And then we hear what I knew for sure was a NOS can being opened. And I just hear the sound of a monster, like one that lives under your bed, chugging a NOS. And then we hear the can crumple, hit the floor, and we just see his foot and the door open. And he's like, "Nah, that's not fucking cool."
He just lost his shit.
Yeah, dude, he lost his
Fucking pen away before the ink goes everywhere.
So he just lost his fucking mind. Like, he was like, "Oh, that's not fucking cool. You know what? I'll tell you what. We're going to play a fucking game. I am going to pick one random wall locker. And if I find one demerit, I'm going to fuck your shit up." We're like, oh, goddamn. And I swear on everything, he went to my wall locker. And I only kept, like everybody else, one rolled up shirt with a pin in it to keep it tight, you know? And he's like, and he knew it because he's the one who told us to do it. And he reaches into this drawer that is empty and spotless except for my one shirt. And he pulls it out. And he pulls the pin out of it. And he's like, that's a fucking demerit. And he just starts tearing my wall locker apart. He tears apart all of our wall lockers. He fucks up all the beds. And he's like, you have like 3 minutes.
Put it all back?
What? No. To get into PT gear.
Oh, God, dude.
So we're like ripping off ABUs. Meanwhile, my shit is everywhere.
So you have extra shit to do during your time.
I am running around in spandex, long green socks, and a yellow t-shirt, and I cannot find my drawers. And dude, he the Air Force version of smoked us for like the longest.
We had a Saturday like that, dude, where it was just fuck games all day. They made us move the beds from bay A to bay B and then move them back to B to A, and then on top of that, after it was okay, here's fucking 30 minutes of just burpees, push-ups, sit-ups. Okay, now get out of your AB. You have 4 minutes as a flight of 60 people to get out of your ABUs and into PT gear, and your ABUs need to be stored in your wall locker appropriately. And then they go around and inspect everybody, and guess what? Somebody did something wrong. So put all your PT gear away and get back in your ABUs. We did that for 4 hours. 4 hours, dude.
I believe it. One time, a dude left a toilet seat down.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. I got a latrine queen story for you, dude.
Let's transition into it because this one's pretty short. So for some fucking reason, I think it's for cleanliness purposes, if you take a piss, go to the urinal.
Really?
Oh, wait, no.
Go to the stall.
Yeah, go to the stall. Never use the urinals because the latrine queens just wanted to clean it once. Were you the latrine queen?
No. But we all used the fucking urinals the first day, and we got ripped apart, and the latrine king was like, nobody fucking used those. I swear to God, nobody fucking used those.
Dude, the latrine king did make that call. I remember that now. But anyway, so somebody left the toilet seat down.
Yeah.
And you have to leave it up. Standards, man.
You have to put it up, and you have to fold the toilet paper into a triangle when you're done taking shit.
I forgot about that, dude. How do you remember? I forgot about that part somehow. But this is... So somebody leaves the toilet seat down. And I'll never forget my TI. It was like the 5th or 6th day. We had just gotten like our uniforms. Super uncomfortable. Yeah. And then our TI is like, everybody get their ass in the latrine. Like
60 dudes in a
60
bathroom.
Dudes in a single bathroom. Here's the thing is your smart flights figure out is half shower, half shit and shave. Like A base shower, B base shit and shave. Don't have to shit too bad. Like, right? And so I'll never forget as long as I live, all 60 of us crammed into stalls. Like we all had to get into the stalls. But you had to leave enough room to be able to lift up and put down the toilet seat. So there's like 6 stalls maybe. So there's 10 dudes in a bathroom in a single stall. And every time our TI says, "Lift him up," we say, "Thank you for picking me up, sir." And every time he says, "Put him down," he says, "I'm sorry for letting you down, sir." Dude, it was a nightmare.
This is the stupid shit I was talking about, where you just have to deal with it for 8 weeks. Like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever been through, and I had to do it. All right, so it was a Sunday, and it's like that. It's like that kind of like down day free time, but it's like everyone's on edge because they're just ready for it. Like whenever it happens, like when are we gonna get yelled at again? And we're all just quiet, like barely kind of talking and like trimming off like strays, cleaning up our uniforms, like, you know, tightening up the shoelaces and shit like that, you know.
Real quick, can I explain this to people who are civilians? There's one word that no vet ever says at work, and it's a B word. I'm bored.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
say I'm bored around me at work, I give you the dirtiest, nastiest look.
Oh, yes,
So
dude.
what I'm trying to say is you learn really quick in the military, get all of your shit done. That's fine, but don't you ever on your fucking life
Say you're
ask like, hey, I don't have anything to do currently.
Yeah. Dude, I made a kid vacuum the fucking ceiling before because he said he was bored. And it was fucking 2 a.m. on a Friday. We were supposed to go home for the weekend. I was like, oh, you're bored? Okay, get that vacuum. Put it on the roof. So he's like trying to fucking...
For those of you at home, I know there's like a split second or maybe like to right now where you're like, wow, what a dick. No, motherfucker. Because if you say you're bored to me, another airman, God knows what you're going to say to an LT. Because people turn rocks at Shepard. Do you remember that? Did you ever have to do that on detail?
Do what?
Where you just had to turn rocks over the other way so they would all be the even amount of sun on the rocks.
No, I never did that.
Do you know where it came from?
Kids saying I'm bored.
Yeah, motherfucker. Okay, I'm gonna dig deep and find something to occupy your time. So you're finding shit for yourselves to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're cleaning up our uniform, sharpening things up and stuff, and I hear the MTI. We finally hear him yell, and he yells the latrine queen's name, and we're like, "Oh fuck, dude! Oh boy's gonna get it, man! What happened now?" And you know the latrine queen's always getting yelled at for something, right? There's always somebody who fucks up, leaves a little bit of water in the drain in the sink, like God forbid. And so I hear my bay. So you know how the TI's office was like right in the middle of A and B.
Yeah.
My bed was like the one that was right outside of his door.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, by his office. So I heard a lot of shit that went on.
What was your job? That's really important.
Shoe aligner.
How'd you get that fucking...
I didn't volunteer until the end when he was like, who doesn't have a fucking job? And I was like, it's me and 4 dudes. I was like, he's like, you guys are shoe aligners. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God.
I had the best job, dude.
Hold on. Let me tell you the train story. So I hear him tell him in the office, and then he has to go do his punishment. He starts in A bay, and then he walks all the way around that little back hallway in the back, and then he comes down to B bay and he tells all of us. And he had to go to all 60 of us or 59 of us, and even though we were sitting together, he had to do it individually to all of us. Somebody left the toilet seat down. It was supposed to be up, so he had to go to everybody with his hands out like a toilet seat was down and say, this is how I was, and then he had to pick his hands up and say, this is how I should be, to 59 people. So for fucking 30 minutes we just hear this one guy. It's dead silent everywhere except where he is. He's all, this is how I was, this is how I should be, this is how I was, this is how I should be. Dude, I've never seen this much anger in one man's eyes before until I saw this guy. If he wouldn't have gone to jail, he would have killed somebody, dude. Like, how humiliating is that? Dude, I had to sit there and watch him, and I couldn't do anything to help him. And I just kept to sit there.
If y'all had been smart, you would have just crowded around him and fucking just or something like. I would have come up with a solution.
We couldn't help him. He had to suffer on his own. And none of the other people are part of the latrine team got any punishment. It was just him.
Was it the latrine king? That's why, right?
Yeah, but we called him the queen.
No. So everybody that works in latrine is a latrine.
Fucking put it in. Push it in.
You push it in?
No. The stand. Yeah, right there.
All right.
Loosen it. It's gonna fall out, dude.
Okay.
And then pick that up and then push that into the hole. No. You loosen that. Oh my God. Yeah, there you go. Pull that out. Now pick the stand up and push it in. There. Yeah. No. Oh my God, dude! I'm gonna come over there and fix this shit, dude.
It's fine. It's so fine. It's so fine.
I don't understand what you're saying either. So
Yeah,
don't look at me.
Okay, that little peg at the bottom.
This one.
No.
This one.
Of
with
this.
the bar.
Of
with
this.
the bar. Show me on yours. Show me on yours.
Look.
Okay.
Look. You see how I'm doing this?
Ah.
The little part goes in.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah. Loosen that shit and pick your mic up and put it in. No, in the hole. Oh my God.
I just want everyone to know that I'm not sober. Like, it's totally fine.
Mike, I don't think that's in.
No, it's not. Loosen that knob. Oh my god. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. Mike's taking apart his mic stand. Oh my god! What are you doing? Give me the fucking thing. Jesus Christ! Give me your stand. He did this on purpose.
Yep.
You fucking cocksucker.
I get to be like Jack sometimes.
I'm buying new stands, dude. I hate these ones.
We gotta get them Joe Rogan stands, bro.
Yeah, they're like $99.
Are they really?
Yeah, but I'm totally fine after that.
Fuck all that shit.
All right. Anyways.
Well, the mics alone are like $300-$400.
Oh yeah,
bucks.
those.
Like,
What are
The
these?
Shure microphones are $400,
mics?
but
How much
these
are-
are MXLs. Anyways, dude, we had one time the MTI. Remember how we all had to wear the chain with our key on it for our wall locker?
Yup.
He took all of them from us and put them in a hat. And he shook it around and he threw it in the middle of the bay. And he's like, "You have 4 minutes to sort that out,
Dude.
Everyone better have their fucking drawer unlocked."
We did that one. My favorite chaos moment was always whenever, because it always happened personally to me, because I had the best job in basic, which
Okay.
was I was utility. Yo, I was an element
Oh, the
leader.
closet?
Yeah, well, I was an element leader first. And to this day, everybody who's in basic training, who was with basic training, remembers me showing my ass as like an 18-year-old, like with just way too much power.
Stupid ass.
I was the worst element leader. So anyway, I get fired from element leader, and it's like, where do we put him? And then my TI was like, fuck it, just go in utility stand, just whatever, man. I don't even fucking care.
Yeah.
And utility was amazing because all you did was hand the cleaning supplies to the other dudes.
Yeah.
And you just had to make sure that you had those cleaning supplies at all times. Here's the catch. Is my utility chief, if you're out there, man, and you remember me somehow, you're a fuckface. He's the worst. Fucking weirdo. So, but here's the thing is when you go to bed at night, utility hands you the hangers that you hang your clothes up with. And however many are on roster who are in the flight, that's how many hangers minus 60 or whatever they're supposed to be. So, like, if you have 53 guys in this bay or in this dorm or whatever, you better have 7 hangers there.
Oh, okay.
But here's the problem. You can't lock the door. So motherfuckers will break a hanger and be like, well.
Let's just go get one.
It'll be fine. There's like 6 extra. And then they'll grab them. And then it's 8 o'clock at night. You're having like one of those like bomb-ass dreams where you're not in basic. And then you hear utility. And here's the thing about basic that a lot of people don't know is if one person says it or you hear your TI say it, especially, you repeat it.
Yep.
So at once you'll hear, imagine you're having the best dream of your life, and you hear utility from your TI, and then you hear 60 dudes in unison go utility.
Yeah. And then you fucking run over there,
dude,
in your underwear.
I will never forget the look on my brother. He was like he was the third TI. So you have a lead guy, and you have like one who's either at the end of his tour, he's done his time, and he's just kind of like waiting to get orders, and he's your third TI. You have your brother flight's TI, your TI, and then a third one usually, right? And so our third TI was the one standing there, and I was scared like absolutely shitless of him. I would shit my pants if I saw him right now. And he's standing, and I walk up to him, and I wasn't wearing my spandex or my PT gear that you're supposed to sleep in. I was just like,
Tidy whities.
yeah, fuck it. Now I'm sleeping comfy, and everyone would let me get away with it because, dude, if Pop Tartan made you rank, I'd be Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, dude. I'd just slide out, bro.
Pop Tartan is when you just like you have to make your bed a certain way, like just like in like Full Metal Jacket, like it's a real thing.
It is a real thing,
And it's a way you slip in under the covers and sleep like super still, and then when you wake up, you slip right out, and you don't have to make the bed again.
all you have to do is like tighten up and then like throw one blanket up. It saves you 15 minutes.
Oh,
easy.
yeah.
Easy, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I would just Pop Tartan. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to be comfy while I was Pop Tartan. I hear utility. Like I'm like fuck, because I know fucking my fucking utility chief's ass not gonna get up, that fucking asshole. And so I run there, and I'll never forget the way he looked at me when I was in front of him in my tidy whities, because it was, you had to sleep in your PT gear.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have 3 questions for you. How many hangers are supposed to be here? And I was like, 6, sir. How many hangers are here? And I was like, 5, sir. Where are your fucking clothes?
Fucking close, you piece of shit.
Yeah, man, dude. It was like, you just, and I know it may sound like banal, but it was, there was like a lot of like just pressure on you mentally. Like, you knew that you had to have attention to detail. And that was like the thing that I felt like was always stressed.
Oh, yeah. How can I trust you to fix a multi-million-dollar aircraft when I can't trust you to fucking hang your pants hook left, fly right?
Or like just fold socks. Like, did your TI
Or
have that?
put the toilet seat up.
Exactly.
Like the most minimal shit that could make your life no different if it happened. Like, no, there's no way these things could ever have like a butterfly effect if you went back in time and changed it, right? But the fact that if you don't do it the right way, you're wrong, and they break you down to where you understand that, like you understand, like,
I feel like everybody had that moment with their TI. With like the guy, like somebody was like, "Oh fuck, do you want to fold socks this way?" And your TI just posts it out, like somehow because he hears him like from outside of the dormitory complex. He's like, "Everybody, get your ass in A bay!"
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, "God damn it!" And he's like, "Hey, guess what? Guess what? I am." Big Air Force is paying you to fold socks, run, and fucking jerk off sometimes.
Yeah, right, dude.
He's like,
how many weeks in until you got a boner in basic?
I did not.
Ever?
Not once.
All 8 weeks?
All 8 weeks. I vividly remember my TI at 3 weeks in. He's like, I'm just going to let you fuckers know. I'm just going to let you fuckers know. This is exactly what's going to happen. Because all of us go through it. We know. We're going to get you all cut up. Don't get us wrong. We're going to get you all cut up, and then you're going to go home on Town Pass, and you're going to get your 2 pumps in, and then you're going to fucking come back to hell. And he was right.
Yeah,
He was
dude.
so right.
Dude,
There was
We got a hotel room.
Yeah.
It was my birthday.
Her
We
birthday weekend was
graduated
my
on my
graduation.
birthday.
Yeah, dude.
That's
lot
good.
of makeup time there,
That's
dude.
good,
Yeah,
bro.
during basic though, I thought that shit was broken, bro.
Uh,
I had like a half semi one morning, and I was like, "Ah, what's in my bed? Ah!"
That's funny. That's funny. Oh man, there's tapeworms here.
Dude. I wrote it down. What was it? Oh shit. Okay, dude. This is fucking hilarious. This was you ever have one of those times where you feel like your MTI was like he's like on your side, but yet he's still yelling about shit.
Yeah.
Because this was mine. This was the closest I ever felt to my MTI, dude. It was the day towards the end where they send everyone to go donate blood, and
yeah. That's
they
a good
told
day.
me I wasn't allowed to donate because 2 reasons. One, I lived in Iceland during the 90s.
Mad cow.
Yeah, I could have mad cow disease, and 2, I had tattoos within a year. So for those 2 reasons, they sent me back early with a few other kids, right? And we get back, and my MTI's like, "What are you guys doing back?" And sir, training while people resorted. So they said I wasn't allowed to donate blood because I lived in Iceland during the 90s. I could have mad cow disease. He's like, "I'm sorry, what? You could have what?" And from there, he proceeds to like anger himself by just talking out loud. And he's like, "Huh, yeah, they want you to shed your blood for this country, but they won't let you donate it to save a brother's life. Okay. Yeah, we should just go down there and take a shit in all their salads for lunch, huh? Yeah, that's what they want. That's what they're thinking out there, huh? Whoopi, let me hear your best mad cow, huh? Let me hear you moo now." And he's like in my face, dude. And I'm like, "Moo, moo," like trying not to laugh, like, and he's just screaming, like he worked himself up to like a severe anger issue because I couldn't donate blood.
Dude. So, I really think my TI liked me. Like,
Yeah.
I actually, he but can you do me a favor? Can you look up so a seal walks into a club? My TI. So seal walks into a club. So And so my TI had this weird obsession with seal clubbing.
Oh, wait. You mean it's exactly what it sounds like?
Yes.
You're clubbing a seal to death.
You are beating one of the most adorable planets. One of the most adorable animals on the planet to death with a stick. And he was obsessed. And so he calls me in to his... No, it's the third one to the right. That's the specific one. I want to paint a picture for Jerry, and it was in black and white. And so my TI calls me into his office, and this is like a little bit after the Chihuahua incident. And so he's like, Stanage, stand at attention at my desk, goddammit. I'm like, sir, training Stanage reports his orders, sir. Well, and he's like, Stanage, you have really impressive military bearing. Super impressive, in fact. I don't know if I've seen an airman or a trainee with your level of military bearing. But look at it!
Shows you that.
And it is taped to his desk. And for those of you who can't see, it is literally a dude with a stick raised above his head with the cutest seal ever underneath it. And it says, so a seal walks into a club.
I thought you meant Heidi Klum's husband walked into a bar. Like, it was some joke going in that direction. But yeah, that's why I was like, oh, it's exactly how it sounds.
You need to apologize to everybody who's listening with headphones right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You didn't hear... Look at that spike.
Oh, it's fine. No,
Jerry will
we're not
edit.
even on that. It's past that. It's fine. I can
Be
edit
on it.
and
He'll post it.
God damn it, dude. That's funny.
It's really hard to convey like all of the crazy shit in 1 hour, just because it's. And by the way, this isn't like I want to make this like really clear. Is like I said, Air Force Basic is all about a different kind of pressure. Like they know most likely, unless you're like a PJ or CCT or some shit like that, you're going to be in charge of very expensive equipment, and it's like. We really don't give a fuck how many pull-ups you can do.
No.
But we're going to create a false sense of pressure. And the way that I illustrate this best is whenever you get there, like 3 days in, you get your uniform, you get all your shit, you start doing PT, you kind of start slowly easing into this chaotic environment, right? And you have no idea what the military is. You just know that you are, at the moment, as a week 0 enlisted member, you are, for real, the lowest man on the toilet pole. Yeah. 100%. And you do not know what operational Air Force is like. So anything that is dispersed to you from a non-commissioned officer is the word of God, right? Mm-hmm. So I will never forget being like 4 or 5 days in, and my TI walking in. He's like, all right, freaks, everyone get around me. And we're like, all right. So we're all like sitting around him. And he's like, in my campaign hat, or Smokey the Bear hat, I have all of your wall locker numbers. All of them. And I'm going to reach in here because Big Air Force told me that I have to kick one of you people out. And I hate you all equally. I don't know if any of you are worth a shit. So I'm going to reach my hand into this hat. I'm going to pull out a number. If it is your wall locker number, thanks for playing. You are no longer a member of the United States Air Force.
Damn.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 directly to civilian world, right?
Yeah.
Or the 319th. And so he reaches in, sure enough, grabs his kids. Kid starts like, like, oh no, I mean, he's all he's like fucking 5 days of this shit for nothing. And he fucking collects all his shit, and sure as shit, he's gone. Just gone. Nobody talked to him on the way out. He's just fucking gone. And all of us are looking around like, he can do that? Like, he can really fucking do that? What?
Yeah.
He has that kind of... He can just pick and choose at random who gets to
That's
do
a
this.
good way to put fear in everybody, man.
Yeah, and okay, so... And it didn't stop there. There was another cat that we had who every morning you do accountability.
Yeah.
Every morning, right? Like your dorm chief, who is the leader of all of you morons, it takes accountability. He counts as you go out. You count as you go out, so you know how many are there. And then right before you go to PT, first thing in the morning, 4:45 in the fucking morning, your TI will say, how many are accountable? And your dorm chief says, this many, sir. And your TI will go, word, right?
Yeah.
And then
More
they report accountability to, they say all present and accounted for.
Right.
Whenever everybody in the squadron is there. And so I'll never forget my dorm chief standing in front of the whole flight. And the TI is like, what's our accountability? And our dorm chief goes, this many. And our TI is like, cool. And it's like, sorry, you gotta cut that part. But our dorm chief's like, no, sir, you don't understand. This many. Like, we are short one, and we don't know what happened to him. Not the guy with the number in the hat. Just somebody disappeared in the night. And we don't know what happened. No one informed us that we would be down one. And our dorm chief is like, sir. And I never forget the way he looks at me. He's like, I know, freak. Like, and we're all like,
Yeah. What happened?
dude, I was scared shitless for weeks. Like that
Because some dude randomly disappeared.
Well, no, that I'll just like one day I wouldn't have done a thing wrong. I would have minded all my P's and Q's. I would be middle of the pack like I always am with most things. And somebody would just be like, hey, Stanage, it's not going to work out.
Get out. Yeah.
Like, and they would just do shit like that.
I bet it was something like an emergency. The Red Cross informed him or something.
No, I'm getting to it. What actually
okay.
fucking happened. So the last one to disappear without like with like the oh shit they can do that was we'd been there for like a week and a half. We were like 10 days in, maybe a little bit less. I don't remember. I just remember there was a guy in our brother flight. And he had like a sprain in his wrist or something. He had something going on with his wrist, right? And every time you go to chow, you have to walk past what's called the snake pit. And that's where all the TIs sit and eat their lunch, watch over their flight, do whatever. And it's a fucking nightmare. Because you learn really quick, eyes front, don't make eye contact, look past them, be where you're supposed to be, do not stick out. Yeah. And that's a rule for basic in general.
Yeah.
And so they give you a sheet of paper when you first get there, and it has your rank structure. It has like your chain of command. It has all the pertinent shit that you need to know when you're operational. Like just basic shit. Like what are the ranks, all that. And I'll never forget this fucking kid. He walks past the snake pit, and his senior master sergeant, who is like an uber god, calls him up, and he's
Senior Master Sergeant's like E8, like it's second to the top.
Yeah, second to the top in the enlisted ranks. Like this guy, you know, if a staff sergeant can fuck up your life, what could a senior master sergeant do?
Yeah,
he could probably fuck your ass as you're walking out the door, and no one would punish him. I don't know. I haven't been in the Air Force before. Like who fucking knows? And this senior master sergeant stops this trainee, and he's like, "Who is this? Who is your squadron, or who's your squadron commander?" And he's like, I don't know yet, sir, because it just hadn't been enough time. There's no way anyone could have memorized it. Anyone. He's like, okay, who's his 37th training wing commander? Who is the AETC commander? What rank is this? I'm like, I would probably have gotten that one. But I'll never forget, he looks at this kid and he goes, who is your section supervisor? And this kid just like he's like trembling, and he's like, I don't know, sir. He's like, I am, fucknut. And he's like, you're gonna pack your shit and you're gone. You're done. Jesus. Thanks for playing. You are the screen door on this submarine. And like he was gone. And so my whole time in basic, I was just like, they can kick you out for whatever. Like, the whole time. And like, dude, the black dudes used to make fun of me like so hard because I would just like spaz out every now and then, like I do. Like to this day, I would just spaz out. I'd be like, guys, do you think like Sergeant is like really in a bad mood today? And, like, they'd be like, bro,
Like has anxiety.
I was stressing hard. I was so high strung coming out of basic.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Oh, dude, so
That's crazy.
I thought that was the reality I lived in, right?
Yeah.
And then I found out like on like the 7th or 8th week, like right before I graduated, it's like, nah, dude, those fuckers just failed the drug test. Like
Got you, man.
they just came in on the 3rd day. They passed at MEPS and then they pissed hot somehow when they got to
Jesus.
basic. And yeah, you're not gonna let you stay in the Air Force, man.
Not at all, dude. Jesus Christ, man. We can go out on this one, dude. This 'cause I don't have too many of these ones, surprisingly, but this one dude, I don't know how to describe him, man. He was one of those guys that he looked like the dude that sings Chocolate Rain. Oh, yeah, he looked like that, and he kind of had a deeper voice, but he was just like absent-minded, like he was just like a ditz, dude, like just total like.
He's on autopilot all the time.
I don't know what he was on, man. It was weird, but he got caught in a snake pit, and our fucking MTI, right? He was a staff sergeant, so he was in E4, right? His pay grade is an E4, right? So staff E5. I'm sorry, E5. Thank you. It's late.
That's fine.
E5. So you have your rank in the military. You have your rank, right? So you have airman first class is E3. You have senior airman, it's an E4, right? So you have the rank title, and then you have the pay grade, which is like E4, E5, E6. Well, that was the question he got, was what is the pay grade of a staff sergeant? And he goes, about $1,400 a month. And so for weeks, every time my TI saw him, was like, "Oh, there goes Johnson. I guess I only make $1,400 this month." Like just totally fucking laying that shit on him over and over and over, dude.
That's
He
That's
thought
funny.
About $1,400 a month.
I don't know, 50.
What's the pay grade? Stupid fuck, man. Like, I don't know where he thought that from.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You gotta think, dude, as a person, like you were saying before, you go to basic, you have no idea what it's like being in the Air Force, right? Because you're not in the Air Force yet. You're going through basic training. These guys they've been through the Air Force, and then they go back to basic, and they bring that back with them, right? So you got to think they're doing the big picture stuff, right? Yeah. So what are they thinking when they encounter situations like that, where someone gives the most retarded answer they possibly can to the simplest question? He could be like, what time is 11 a.m.? And you're like, 11 a.m. But this dude gives you the most like off the wall answer, and like you're like, what do you say, dude?
Well, it's creating false pressure.
Yeah.
Because one day you will be under real pressure. Yeah.
They want you to be able to act.
Exactly. And so, I mean, I think guys who go through older probably have a better grasp on like what's going on. Like they went through all this trouble to hire me. I don't think they're gonna fire me this easily.
But it's got to be a lot to deal with all those stupid kids, man.
Oh, dude, you know what? Have you ever thought about like, I know you've thought about it at least once, right? Just like going back in, just like a fleeting thought. Because I have, where I've just like been like, I go back in, and then I think on it for like a couple like seconds, and I'm like, nah.
No, I would never go back in.
No.
I did when I was in though. I did have a dream where the Air Force made it mandatory to resend everybody back through basic every 5 years. So I went back. So in my dream, I went back through basic with my entire shop in Japan, and it was equally funny but also equally difficult because like you think you have a tight knit shop, right? So like everybody's got their inside jokes with each other. Like you're like kind of like a little family, and like you're fucking with everybody, and then your TIs are fucking with the same people you're fucking with, but then they're yelling at you for laughing when you're like, "Hey, that was my joke like 10 minutes ago." Like
Yeah.
it was scary though. It was a scary dream, man. Fucking A.
That's the thing. That's the thing that you hear the most. I think is a lot of guys will be like, "Basic wasn't that bad," in any branch, and then somebody be like, "Do it again." Like, no.
No, not. Why would I do it again? Yeah, they got all defensive. What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah, I would love to be around 15 other dudes, not be able to communicate with the ones I love.
Yeah, exactly.
Get yelled at.
Living fucking 5 miles from my house.
Dude, that was the roughest part. Is us going to basic, like where we lived. Like I will never. I was at 321, and so
Same.
yep. You were at 321.
Predators?
Yeah. Was it something about getting out of the way?
They're not predators anymore because of sexual assault allegations, and a guy threw a kid in the dryer. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. I mean, it's not the sexual assault, but the kid in the dryer.
Not the sexual assault. I'm sorry. To be clear,
the kid in the dryer.
throwing
is
a kid in
really
the dryer
funny.
is funny in any respect. Like that's just funny.
Because he's a grown man. He joined the military. Like, if you can get a kid in the dryer, or if you let somebody throw you in the dryer, you deserve to be in the dryer. You know what I mean?
Dude, you know that kid's entire Air Force career revolved around that moment because any shop he ever got stationed at, when they start, because it happens everywhere, they start telling basic training stories, and he's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, this happened to me. My TI threw me in a dryer and turned it on for 30 seconds." And I was on tumble dry low heat for 30 seconds, and I came out crispy and ironed.
I didn't have to lint roll my shit.
Yeah.
Dude, the thing is, goddamn, dude.
We got to do an episode on Amnesty Hour stories.
Oh,
Nah, there's not many. I
Wait,
can
dude,
lay it
no?
out now.
I can end
Scroll
out
that
with
over,
the
babe.
best Amnesty Hour story you will ever hear in your life. I think.
Oh, grab that orange and move it real fast on top, because that's about to play. Just move it to the, click and drag to the right.
Goddamn, we really spent a lot of time on that whiskey, man.
Yeah, but I'm gonna
You
cut all that. It's not
really
gonna be
spent
that
a lot of
long.
time on
That's good.
All right,
Alright,
so-
finish with your Amnesty Hour.
This is, so for the civilians at home, and I don't know if they do it in other branches. I'm sure they do. But Amnesty Hours is just what it sounds like. It's where at the very end of basic, you're now an airman. You graduate. You've already graduated. It's your last weekend. I think it's the Sunday before everyone goes to their tech schools. And your TI basically says you have amnesty to tell me whatever the fuck it is you did. I've heard it all. I went through it. I did it. I know you all slept when you weren't supposed to. I know you weren't supposed to do all this shit. Well, the guy who holds the flag at the front of our flight, our guidon bear, was a weird fucking dude. And we used to call him our shower shark, man. Like, he would he would come into the fucking shower at attention. Like, if you know what I mean. This dude had
He had a boner.
He had a full-on boner. And so, like, after a while...
What the fuck?
After a while... And what's funny is his name was actually, like... I'm going to say it just so I can get your reaction, but his name was fucking... Are you going to remember to cut this?
We don't have.
It's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
worth it.
He has to cut a few things.
It
so.
is.
really?
It is
Yeah, you gotta
so
bleep
worth
a
it,
few
Jerry,
things.
for me to tell you this fucking. Yes, his name was.
cut that. You have to cut that.
Yes,
a lot
you-
of people's
you have
last
to
names.
cut
Yeah,
are
yeah.
Nina.
You have.
You have to cut it.
You.
Why? Nobody's gonna know this kid. Okay, now I gotta cut it, you cocksucker. You know what? I'll just cut his first name.
But his name was a play on like a dick word. That's really
His parents
juvenile.
hated him, dude.
So this fucking kid. So I told you about the guy that my TI really liked. He was one of our element leaders. And he could make he made our TI laugh like a bunch, man. This element leader, he got caught slipping a note to our one of our female flights chow runners. And it was pretty like graphic. And he had to read it for the whole flight with her TI there. And he didn't get kicked out. And I know it's because my TI fucking loved this dude. And like to this day, man, fuck. Oh man, he was a good cat, Darius. He's a good cat.
So anyways, Amnesty Hour.
So, but what I'm leading into this, man. Trust me, I'm leading into it. you just have to understand the kind of shit that he was saying. So Amnesty Hour rolls around, and you know this kid's last name. And so he's like, all right, freaks, tell me whatever it is you want to tell me. And Darius's hand goes up. And he's like, all right, freak, what the fuck you got to tell me? And he's like, sir, you were stationed in Japan, am I right? He's like, yeah, freak, get on with it. He's like, you know how when you walk into a koi pond and you like throw a rock in a koi pond, like all the koi like scurry? He's like, yeah, freak, get to your fucking point. He's like, well, the latrine is kind of like the koi pond, and we all the koi, but Wiener's the rock. Dude, I've never seen somebody that large like unfold and grab their chest. Like, he just thought it was the funniest fucking thing like in the world. And to this day, man, I was like, as a comedian, I don't know if he had written it like the entire 8.5 weeks.
He prepped it.
I don't know if he prepped it, but goddamn, Darius, that was fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
Wiener was the rock, man.
During MC hour, we told our TI. Well, we told him one thing that I thought was really funny, because then he used it against us later. But when he was hold on, I'll get there. When he was explaining what amnesty hour was, he was like, so if you've ever seen basic training flights, they walk with the flashlights, and they have like the little yellow cones that go on them. And our MTI was like, amnesty hours, you can tell me whatever the fuck you want. So if you want to tell me you like to put your penis in flashlight cones, you fucking tell me. I can't do anything about it. It doesn't matter. And we all look at this one little fucking wiener kid in our flight, because 2 weeks ago, actually for all 8 weeks while we were lining up, every time he'd take the fucking little flashlight cone and be like, and just mouth it all over his face. And our fucking accountability dudes would walk by and be like, what are you doing, man? That's gay as fuck. Like, what's wrong with you? He's always fucking deep throating his flashlight cone. So that's what we looked at him for. So we're all looking at him like, what are you doing with that flashlight, you fucking freak?
Okay, so for those of you at home, I had heard that story before, and it's so goddamn funny that I laughed harder the second time.
It is a good story, dude. So we told them, so during amnesty hour, the main thing we told them was we created a code word for any time a TI would walk by us anywhere. So we would all shape up to attention and not get in trouble. And the code word was hydrate, because they're always telling you to drink your canteens and hydrate. So the TIs are always yelling it. So when they hear you yelling it, they just think you're reminding each other to hydrate. So, and no, it's fine. Let it ride. So we tell him, hey, we had this code word the whole time that was hydrate, so we wouldn't get, so we would act right whenever you'd walk around. And then all night long, he would just barge in randomly while we're sleeping. He's like, hydrate, and people would like jump out of bed and fucking start acting right and shit, and like he would just use it against us, man. So that's that, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a good run and a good amount of stories, man. Fucking A.
Only drink one glass of whiskey.
Only one. All right. Hey, more to come soon. Thank you so much. You listened this far. We really appreciate it. Share, like, comment, suggest. We'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Appreciate y'all.